point as they're wondering what's going to happen in this game after watching their home team lose its opening game to the Czech Republic. Your referees for today's contest from Slovakia, Josef Kubas and Maxim Sorodenko of Belarus, and your linesman, Vit Litterer of the Czech Republic and Peter Sevchik of Slovakia.
Well, we saw earlier, the Russians, for them, it's about scoring goals. Shut out in that first game against the Czech Republic, and Pavel Datsyuk talked about his team needing to be better, to work together, and they all know that. And for the other side, you look at the goaltender, Sergei Bobrovsky, net for Russia, but it was the other side that was good. Vitaly Kolesnik of Kazakhstan faced 51 shots against Switzerland, 49 saves in that game.
And perhaps the oddest moment of all came after the game when he wasn't selected the player of the game for Kazakhstan. We'll get into that in a second. This one is underway. Alexei Yemelin will send it in, and right off the get-go, an icing call here against Russia.
Well, you said it, 49 saves. He does not get the player of the game against the Swiss, in which was a shootout win for Kazakhstan. Switzerland was all over them. He came up with save after save. Very, very good in that game. So Kolesnik, they're looking for a repeat performance as the coach Oleg Zhinok. And on the other side, veteran NHLer Andrei Nazarov behind the Kazakhstan bench.
Zarok was all business yesterday with his Russian players, getting them ready for this game, and we saw the celebration from Coach Nazarov and his players after their big win. Roman Starchenko, just to finish that story about the start of the game, Roman Starchenko was the player from Kazakhstan who was selected the player of the game. He didn't want to go get the award. He stood there, kept looking over at his teammates saying, do I really want to go and do this when it should have gone to our goaltender? But
well, he did score a big goal to tie the game up.
So another icing call, 27 seconds into this one, and Russia guilty of a couple of icings.
Well, the crowd looking for a much better performance and an even better result here as they expect this home team, Russia, to come through against Kazakhstan today.
Well, a big holiday weekend. It's Victory Day tomorrow, but from a hockey standpoint, I guess they're looking for Victory Day to be today. Ivanov trying to pull that back for Kazakhstan, does. Shot by Starchenko, kicked away by Bobrovsky. Cleared down the ice, and Lepine will go back for it. Takes a bump from Ivan Telegin. Flipped out at center. And they'll battle down below us here for a loose puck. Grabbed off by Chudinov. He'll go cross ice. Long left wing pass. Backboard. Sending it around the boards is Yakov. He'll send it backward. Chudinov will play it near side for Anton Belov. Belov plays it in. Race for the loose puck. Panarin first on it, trying to get that out front for Sapachev, and that got turned away.
Well, this was a good line for Russia last year. Dadonov, Sapachev, and of course, Temi Panarin, who had such a great year with Chicago in his rookie season in the NHL.
He was signed by the Blackhawks right before the tournament. And we had the same situation this year with Zaitsev of the Russian team, signed by Toronto just before the tournament. As we look at Ramirev.
Ramirev with a good chance, just a quick shot off the draw, and Bobrovsky able to come up with that left toe save. Bit of a screen shot, just a nice reaction save by Bobrovsky as he kicks it aside. Had the assist on that Starchenko goal that tied it up against Switzerland last game.
Some pressure on Bobrovsky. Not sure that they want to fall behind this Kazakhstan team. Semyonov, who led Kazakhstan in ice time in its opening match, 26 minutes and 55 seconds of ice time. Now we've got an icing call against Kazakhstan, so perhaps the noon start here in Moscow is the reason for the slow start to this game. But
all plays well for Kazakhstan. Take the crowd out of it. Maybe try and put them to sleep, put the Russian team to sleep, because when you watch Russia playing, the key for them is to get on the board early. They need to score, feel good about their game. The longer they go without, there's a little bit more pressure that mounts.
Rumistrov and Solorev to do the face-off honors. Sunat had it, couldn't control it, centered up front, batted out of midair by Artemi Panarin. And this is going to get whistled down. We're going to say Panarin knocked it down with a high stick.
Well, Vermeestrop's just going to touch it. Vermeestrop centers this puck out front, and Panarin right out of the air. Some good hand-eye coordination, but they don't want to see that. So Panarin with a little bit of double shift duty.
So that would not have counted had it gone in. Lapine for Kazakhstan. The early going of this one, and another icing call.
Well, maybe that really is the game plan here, to just ice the puck, and Oleg Rock is going to switch his lines up here as he's trying to get the right combination, take advantage of these icing calls and offensive zone draws.
Another triple header here at the Ice Palace. Norway, Switzerland will be game 2, and Sweden and Denmark will wrap up the day. Savchenko trying to get that ahead for Dustin Boyd, and it gets deflected. Savchenko jumping in from the line. Possible 2-on-1. Telegan lets the shot go from the short side. That goes off the leg and wide. Lakiza plays it around and back out of center. Taken by Alexei Emelin. Plays it into the Kazakhstan zone as the fans again get going here at the Ice Palace. Starchenko with the wrist shot, stopped by Bobrovsky. Starchenko, who was the MVP of the D1A tournament when Kazakhstan went 5-0 to qualify for this championship. Picked off at center, Pavel, or rather Dodonov. No room for him, picked off in Kazakhstan with Ivanov. Will carry back in. Wrist shot by Pushkarov did not get through. And back up for Russia, Marchenko. Gets it into the Kazakhstan zone. That play comes to a dead halt. Cleared back down the ice. Krasnov Slobocevic is in on the forecheck. Cleared away from him, and Sapachev couldn't handle that at center, and back into the Russian zone it goes. Artemi Panarin takes it wide. Panarin being watched by Lapine. Panarin for Belov. Belov's shot got blocked as getting in front of that was Udinov. Belov goes back for it. He gets tied up on the backboard by Alexander Shin. And Russia will control with Kalinin. Kalinin sends it wide. Fires it towards the front of the net. It makes its way all the way to the near side boards. Plotnikov sends it back into the corner. Back at the right point. Lapine trying to tie up his man in the corner. Plotnikov stays on it. And now Lapine will shovel it out at center and taken there by Alexander Shin. Back in for Boyanov. Boyanov led Russia in ice time, 21 minutes against the Czech Republic. Alexei Emelin will chase this back into his own zone.
Well, Kazakhstan's done a real good job in their own end, not allowing anything in that middle of the ice, the danger area in front of their net, protecting their goalie.
Chudinov sends it in. And Belarus winning that battle, or rather Kazakhstan winning that battle, and Borchensky sends it back down the left side boards. Gaz goes in after it, and Chudinov jumps on the loose puck for Vermeestrop. Vermeestrop goes wide on Nigel Daz, and then it's knocked off his stick by Semyonov. And Kazakhstan back through center. As Ivanov will play it to the line no further. Telegan now in on the left side, lets the wrist shot go. And that is grabbed and held by Kolesnik.
Well, Ivan Telegan just coming down the wide side, and this is about all that Russia has been allowed is those outside plays. As Kazakhstan, a nice job in the middle of the ice. Belov had the blast earlier. That gets blocked in front. Not many shots have gotten through. It's kind of the plan here for Kazakhstan is just to slow this game down and be strong and solid defensively.
And the crowd trying to play a part in this game. Rymarев plays this into the Russian zone, grabbed off by Zaitsev. Starchenko sends it ahead. Mozyakin had it, lost it. Dadonov going in after it, couldn't handle it. And sent back out at center ice.
Rock kind of shifting his lines around a bit here early in this game, and we saw that as the game went on against the Czech Republic, just trying to find that right chemistry to produce some offense.
Pavel Datsyuk did try to calm the masses after the loss on Friday by saying, look, we are going to take some time, we'll need some time to get to know each other. We haven't been together that long. Shot by Belov, that got blocked. Another shot, Kalishnik makes the save on that. The rebound grabbed off by Pushkarov. Sends it out to center. Russia right back in with Sapachev. A redirect and Kalishnik. Score! Redirect by Dadonov. And it gets through Kalishnik. And Russia has the opening goal.
Oh, this is exactly what Russia needed. A little bit of a delayed response. As Dadonov, it's just a little redirect as he's driving through that middle lane. And eventually this puck is going to find its way. Quick play up the wall. And right to the middle, Dadonov takes the feed and he's able to slip it past Kalishnik. As the Pachov centering feed in between the pads. Kalishnik thought he had it. And as he looks behind, it trickles across. That is a big goal for Russia. That is exactly what they needed. Evgeny Dadonov has them on the board.
They get the lead in this game and the opening goal of this championship for Russia. Voinov sends it left side. Plotnikov sends it in. Kalina should get a stick on it. Lubimov in the corner after it. Knocked away from Plotnikov. And carried out by Shin. Yemelin takes it away and sends it for Plotnikov. Kalina takes the pass and drives it into the Kazakhstan zone. From the high slot, Panarin doesn't get a lot on that shot. Side of the net, cleared away but not out of harm's way by Kryasunov. Vermistrov with Semyonov after him. Vermistrov does the loop and gets dunked on the play, but before that, there was a penalty being called. So it'll be a power play for Kazakhstan. Singing, they're dancing, and they're happy. Their team is up 1-0.
Well, they finally get to celebrate a goal in this tournament as Evgeny Dadonov is opening up, and now Kazakhstan gets a power play opportunity. They were 1 for 2 in that game against Switzerland. It was a big power play goal by Starchenko that tied it up and pushed it in overtime and led to the shootout win.
Sapachev got called for interference before Vermistrov was dumped on the play. Vermistrov kind of got up and was somewhat wondering what was happening when he saw his teammate going to the penalty box. Mark Scheifele has scored for Canada, up on Hungary, 1-0. Connor McDavid with his first point as an assist on that goal. second and say happy Mother's Day to everyone who is up bright and early watching this contest between Kazakhstan and Russia. Off the skating from the Boston, rebound score. The net is on, but they are calling it a goal as Dastин Бойд taps that in the near side to draw this game even 1-1.
Well, the net comes off, but a great play by Bochenski off to the side of the net, and Dastin Бойd has tied this game up. So a crowd that was just cheering and dancing, not so much now. A great play by Bochenski, and Bobrovsky, as he slides to the left, kicks the net off. Get the puck to the net. Bochenski, a great play. He finds it and feeds Бойд just off to the side. Бойd, a wide open net, and he taps us in for his first of the tournament. Бойd, Bochenski does all play in the scanner of the KHL, and used to that chemistry, you can see it kind of knowing where they are in a power play goal. Are they going to review this now? And they are.
Well, the referee is going to go over and have another look at that goal. Rory Perry has Canada up 2-0 on Hungary.
Bobrovsky, as he goes for it, the net comes off before the puck goes in.
We'll see how they rule this.
To me, it doesn't make a difference at all.
And the referee is right there.
There's where Bobrovsky, he knocks it off himself. There's no one around him. The net is off, though, before the puck crosses the goal line.
You see the referee right in behind the net. Signals goal. That was Joseph Kubas of Slovakia that made the goal signal. Now he's over having a look at the replay. See whether or not Dastin Бойd has tied this game up 1-1.
Well, Staza just feeds that puck towards the net. Bochenski to Бойd. To me, that's a good goal. We'll wait and see, and it is. So Kazakhstan has tied it up, and Dastin Бойd, the Calgary draft pick back in 2004, has Kazakhstan 1-1 here with Russia.
So Kazakhstan 2 for 3 on the power play in this tournament.
And it's been both units that have been able to provide a little offense on the power play.
That is the second power play goal against that Russia has allowed. Starchenko throws this up the right side boards. 121 between the two goals. Savchenko, who had the short-handed tally from his own blue lines in the win against Switzerland. Looking for Starchenko at center. Not away from him, and Savchenko will play this back down the ice. This is going to be an icing call as Savchenko just slaps that down the ice.
Savchenko's the one that had the long-range goal against Switzerland, scored from his own blue line short-handed. Took a slap shot that fooled Reto Berra, the netminder of Switzerland. I'm sure a lot of people have seen that in highlights. It's been showed over and over. Probably not a highlight that Reto Berra would like to see.
Sapachov out along with Artemi Panarin and Dadonov. Rymera for Kazakhstan. Starchenko goes to the front of the net. Karam's off the leg. Ivanov couldn't pick it up. Rymera chases it to the corner along with Belov. Belov for Sapachov, turned it off. Rymera. Oh, and Rymera dropped it back. Think his teammate was there. Another chance, score! Starchenko puts it to the net. It bounces around. And just like that, Kazakhstan has the lead.
You can see the celebration of the fans. I don't know if anyone predicted Kazakhstan to come out to the lead, but it's the captain, Starchenko. Rymera, a strange plays in all alone, and he's going to drop pass it to no one. But good hustle into the play as Rudeov And then it comes out to Starchenko, and he puts it far and in. Yakov is with a good play. Back, Starchenko, quick shot over that right shoulder. Rymarov was right in front to make sure that crossed the line.
Boy, that may have gone off a player, the post, and then off another body and into the net. But it's 2-1 in favor of Kazakhstan. Kalinin to the front of the net, score! And now the response from Russia.
Well, that didn't take long, and it's a great passing play. Luminoff is able to be the last one to touch this, and he finishes off a great passing play. Just quick transition as Plotnikov to the middle, Kalinin with a great back pass, and Luminoff able to finish it off as he just snipes it home past Kolesnik. And just like that, it's a 2-2 game.
2:38, 2 minutes and 38 seconds for 4 goals.
We played 5 games before this, and we did not see much offense. Can't complain now.
Nope. Starchenko looking for Rymarov. Ivanov tried to send that rolling puck towards the front of the net. Zaitsev plays it up the wall, kept in at the line, and now Marchenko sends out lead pass for Burmistrov, off Burmistrov's skate. And Kazakhstan, Ivanov, handing it out to center no further. Panarin going back for it. Panarin gets a bit of a hook on Savchenko. Yemelin rubs his man out. Burmistrov is the first man back on the puck. Transfers Slobodzev in on the forecheck. Sends it to the far side. And now we have a penalty coming up.
Yemelin and Pushkarov had a bit of a battle going on. It started with Yemelin, who hit Pushkarov, and then Pushkarov came in late, and he's going to get the penalty on this. A little bit of a retaliatory penalty. He got hit by Yemelin, and then he went in on the forecheck. He's going to take a roughing call. Amazing how the momentum shifts so quickly. Kazakhstan had the lead. There's the penalty by Pushkarov behind the net in the offensive zone. Andrei Nazarov, the head coach for Kazakhstan. Team needing a big penalty kill. Russia over 3 in that first game of the power play against the Czech Republic.
Latvia's penalty kill, 3 for 4, coming into this power play for Russia. Belov lifts the shot, will block in front. Kolesnik will jump on that loose puck.
That's it, standing right in front as Russia looking to move that puck around. That's it, veteran player for Detroit. Everybody wondering what will happen. 1 year left on his contract there. The 953 NHL games, a couple Stanley Cups, 3 Selkies, 4 Lady Bings, an impressive trophy case for Pavel Datsyuk.
Kazakhstan short-handed for another minute and 40. Datsyuk, Belov, Datsyuk, cross ice, Mozyakin, back for Belov. Pavel Datsyuk. Traffic in front. Datsyuk tried to force that through. It got blocked. Mozyakin back for Datsyuk. Up top for Belov. Down for Mozyakin. Another penalty coming up on the play to Kazakhstan as they will be 2 men short.
Slashing call by Sunov, who led Kazakhstan in ice time last game. He will enter the box. So important defenseman for Kazakhstan takes the slashing call right in front of him. He slashes anti-pin stick and breaks. This is not the situation that Nazarov and this Kazakhstan team want to get into is penalty trouble.
Anti-pin was the player that had the stick dropped out of his hand. So 5-on-3 for a minute and 15. Boyanov takes the return pass, and Kalishnik snares that and hangs on.
Dadonov right in front, able to get a stick on that Boyanov blast from the point. A good job in front as Kalishnik not only makes the save, quickly able to snag that rebound, so no chance for a second play.
Boyanov, by the way, who went by Slava Boyanov when he was in Los Angeles, here officially on the shot score. Mozyakin on the 5-on-3.
Russian offense is at full force now as it's 3-2 and a minute 45 left on the power play as Mozyakin with a blast from the point, and he beats Kalishnik to the blocker's side. Mozyakin led Russia last year in this tournament. 12 points, 6 goals, and a very good shot as he beats Kalishnik. And Russia now stays on the power play and has the lead back.
So, Andrei Nazarov maybe discussing discipline with his troops. Back to the Boyanov situation. Boyanov does have the puck on the score sheet here. He is registered as Vyacheslav Boyanov. Dadonov throws it to the near side. Mozyakin with the power play goal. 3-2 Russia in what has been a wild opening period. Sabachev throws it behind the net, back for Boyanov. Slap shot save made. Boyanov has it again. Another blast. Another save by Kalishnik. And then a chance on the near side for Sabachev. And he couldn't put that through. Sabachev works it to the front. Dadonov spins it back for Panarin. In front for Dadonov. Panarin takes a whack at it. Got blocked in front. Boyanov, Panarin, and it just got tipped by Starchenko. Panarin plays it back for Sabachev. Up top, slap shot by Chedinov.
Big save by Kalishnik and got a little help from his defenseman, Artemi. Lagiza had a big block just before that blast from the point as Chedinov trying to find some room to the glove side.
Power play for another 37 seconds. So Russia, after getting shut out in game one, has the offense going here. That cross ice pass, Karov's off the corner boards, and that'll chase Belov all the way back into his own end. For Antipin, for Datsuk. Pavel Datsuk lost it in the corner, and Kazakhstan with Lapine sending it all the way down the ice. Belov will park in behind his own net. Being watched in front by Kucherov, and the power play is over. A redirect on the short side, that misses the target. Semyonov grabs it for Kazakhstan. Beats it left side, and this will get deflected back into the Russian zone. Kazakhstan will jump on the loose puck with Hudyakov. Now a crease violation, and that'll bring the face-off outside the line. have come fast and furious.
Well, they certainly have, and it was certainly Mozyakin on the power play, two-man advantage that has Russia up 3-2 after they were down briefly 2-1 to Kazakhstan. So one goal difference as Kazakhstan got themselves in a little bit of penalty trouble.
It was a big goal by Lyubimov right after Kazakhstan had taken the 2-1 lead. That got the game tied up. And then the two penalties for Kazakhstan and the power play marker for Russia. Voinov plays this in behind the net. The referee has to dance his way out of the action. Dadonov's pass ends up all the way back where Yemelin has to chase it down for Russia. Lead pass, Panarin to the front of the net looking for Dadonov off his stick. And Solerov carries it back, wrong shot. Bobrovsky steers it away. Panarin on the loose puck for Voinov. Sabachev waiting for it all the way up at the Kazakhstan line. It never does get to him. And that'll signal a line change for Russia. As Chudinov takes it behind his own net. Telegan drops it back, shot to the far side by Shirokov, and that got blocked. Shirokov on it again. In front is Burmistrov, it comes back to the line for Chudinov, the blast. And that's off the right pad, and it may have gone off the outside of the goalpost.
Well, a good blast by Chudinov, just looking for some room. Russia's done a good job getting those shots through from the point.
Hungary is on the board against Canada. Belov plays this back into his own zone. Zaitsev for Belov. Out at center, trying to force that through for Mozyakin. Turned over, and Kazakhstan back in. Backhand shot by Rymarov. Mozyakin trying to clear. Starchenko sends it back in where Bobrovsky has to play it. Lead pass and some room for Pavel Datsyuk. And Datsyuk looking for that far side and missed the net. Yemelin. Back for Antipin. And now 4.5 left in a 5-goal first period. Blotnikov, bit of a hook on him. Goes uncalled. Krasnoslobodsev chases this down into the Russian zone. Krasnoslobodsev in a battle with Antipin. Knocks it loose. Uses that size to get in front of Antipin. Antipin puts a bit of a grab on him. And the puck sent ahead for Chudinov. For Lyubimov. Lyubimov gets rubbed out in behind the net. Wachinski. Rink wide for Nigel Dawes. Dawes plays it around the boards. Savchenko in from the line. And he gets pulled over by Big Kalinin. Dawes off the skate, back to the line. Semyonov lets the blast go, and that got stopped in front. And Semyonov will chase it back.
Good chance for Semyonov to add traffic in front. Boyd right in front of Bobrovsky. Chudinov had the chance at the other end. Able to get that slap shot. A good job. Head up, and it just catches the outside of that post. So Chudinov very close to putting Russia up by 2 goals. Hit by Kalinin. Savchenko, as he went down and was slow to get up.
Ivanov wins the draw. Semyonov will play it in. Starchenko plays it right back out. Semyonov trying to keep an eye on Dodonov. Voinov at the line. Slap shot, whistled that one high. Panarin had to duck. Panarin, trouble with a rolling puck. And now it gets knocked off his stick by Rymarov. Alexei Marchenko will take this back in behind his own goal line. For Voinov, Dodonov, Marchenko. Russia changing, and there's a turnover. And Mazika will send it in. Out through center, Plotnikov. In for Burmistrov, and Burmistrov cut to the middle. And then the shot got blocked. after it. Shirokov in the high slot for Mistrov. Drops it at the line. Zaitsev with the blast, and that got stopped. Antipin cross ice for Mistrov. The one-timer didn't get much on it, and it flutters into Kalishnik.
Oh, great transition, quick play, nice little tip pass to Burmistrov with speed. Cuts back, gets in the area he wants, but just can't finish. There's Burmistrov, a nice little move. Gorobenko can't stay with him. And Kalishnik gets just enough of that puck to make the save. Burmistrov, the Winnipeg Jet, a little frustrated after that as he wasn't able to score.
Alexander Lepine will leave it for Savchenko. Savchenko, the long pass looking for Brandon Bochenski. This will go for icing.
Russia's done a much better job here trying to spread it out. And Evgeny Dadonov, 2 points tonight. He had the goal to open it up. And probably the most important goal for Russia was that first one by Dadonov as he's able to tip it between the pads of Kalishnik. Also got an assist on that 2-man power play as Sергei Mozyakin was able to score.
55 NHL games for Dodonov with Florida. And now we have an interference penalty on a bit of a pick play.
Well, it's going to be Dodonov. 2 points tonight. He's going to pick up his first power penalty of the evening. So an interference call. And Kazakhstan, who is 1 for 1 today and 2 for 3 in the tournament on the power play. It's Dodonov that interferes with Bochenski.
Stay out on the power play. Bochenski, Dawes, Boyd. Semyonov coming in from that left point. Cleared past him. Here comes Kalinin short-handed. And Kalinin is knocked off his stick by Tryasunov. Marchenko sends it cross ice. Oh. Almost too many men on the ice. In fact, that may have been too many men on the ice. Lumamov splits the defense and chips it over top the net. Nigel Dawes, couple of goals in the shootout yesterday, including the winner. This gets hammered in on Kalishnik with under 90 seconds now left in period 1. Ivanov drops it back. Ramirev. And he'll drop it back. Starchenko carries to the line for Ivanov. And that got broken up inside the line by Boyanov. Starchenko. Back for Savchenko and back for Starchenko. Ramirev. Starchenko. Comes back for Ramirev. Savchenko from the line. Last shot. Way over top the net off the body.
Not even close. He had Burmistrov sliding for the block. A great rush up the ice by Luminov. Goes inside, tries to chip it over the right shoulder of Kalishnik, but it's a little bit too high. Luminov splits the defense of Kazakhstan, short-handed. I'm not sure. Kalishnik may have got just enough of that puck. Luminov already with a goal in this game. He was able to tie it up 2-2.
42 seconds in the power play for Kazakhstan. Starchenko dodged the check there from Antipin, but Anton Belov will send the puck down the ice. Lazika leaves for Ramirev. Ramirev pulls away from Kalinin, hits the line with speed, tried to bust his way through, got taken down, no call. Belov sends it around the boards. Lazika waits for it. Starchenko ran into the referee. Ramirev is on it for Starchenko. That offside lets the shot go. Belov blocked it. Ramirev scores! From behind the net. Another power play goal for Kazakhstan.
Ramirev, a real heads-up play here. This was by design. As he recognizes at the right time, Bobrovsky off the post. Starchenko's going to take the shot, and then it comes to Ramirev, and and he's got his head up. He recognized Bobrovsky getting up off the post, and he's going to bank this shot off the left leg and in. A real smart hockey play by Rymarев, and Kazakhstan has tied this up late in period number 1.
I'm not sure what's more of a surprise, the fact that they're tied with Russia or the fact that Kazakhstan has scored 3 goals. Long pass up through the middle. This gets deflected in. Next up for Kazakhstan is Norway on Tuesday. And the first period, a wild first period, comes to an end.
Well, it certainly does. Lots of offense.
Внимание на арене Легенд! Мы начинаем второй период группового матча.
Welcome back to Moscow as it is Kazakhstan and Russia. The second period about to get underway as you look at Vitaly Kalishnik and Sergei Bobrovsky.
Well, Kalishnik a lot more busy. You look at the shots, almost 2-1 in favor of Russia as they outshot Kazakhstan 17-9, but the important thing is they each got 3 goals. It is tied at 3 here as they get ready for period number 2. A late goal by Kazakhstan to tie it up, and maybe not exactly what the fans here in Russia were expecting to see as a tied game after the first period of play.
Pavel Datsyuk took 11 face-offs in that opening period. He won 8 of them. And in the first game against the Czech Republic, Datsyuk took 19 face-offs. For Russia, 114 of the 19. Sent into the crowd. It was intended to end up in the Russian zone, but off a stick and into the stands.
They're going to try a Stunov, the defenseman for Kazakhstan, who's second in ice time in that first game. Most of the ice time going to Maxim Semyonov. He led them just over 9 minutes in that first period of play.
Coach Nazarov makes a line change 7 seconds into the second period.
Very animated on that bench.
We had 5 goals in 4 minutes and 28 seconds in that first period. Pavel Datsyuk sends that cross ice. Mozyakin had it intercepted before it got to him. Artemi Panarin snaps this wide. Voinov holds it in. And Starchenko for Kazakhstan plays it up the boards, but therefore it is Pavel Datsyuk. Datsyuk with Lapine all over him. Datsyuk sends it back for Panarin. Panarin sends it back for Mozyakin. Starchenko trying to stay with Mozyakin. Kalinin now in for Telegin. And crease violation. So Telegin with the opportunity, but Lyubimov in the blue paint.
Lyubimov just a little too much there. It's a great play. Telegin gets that puck coming down the middle of the ice, and look at Lyubimov as he's backing it. Ivanov in front, claiming he got pushed in. They have a claim there, and the whistle goes, and the face-off comes outside the Kazakhstan zone.
Kalinin knocked it to the far side boards, but Nigel Dawes for Brandon Bochenski. Bochenski with the wrist shot. Snapped that one wide, and Lyubimov looking for Telegin. Kurasumov for Kazakhstan, looking for Nigel Dawes. Bochenski for Dawes with Boyd, who takes the pass. Puts on the brakes against the checking of Kalinin. Nigel Dawes throws that to the short side. Karam's off the leg and wide as Marchenko got in front of it. And up the boards out to center ice for Dodonov. In for Kalinin. Dodonov to the backboards with Semyonov. Gets a little bit of help from Artemi Panarin. Panarin, outstanding rookie season with the Chicago Blackhawks. Sapechev had that get away from him in behind the net. Brandon Buczynski sends it out at center ice on and off the stick of Hudyakov. And Russia will carry it back in with Sabacek. Panarin to the front of the net. Got a little bit of it, not a whole lot. And Artemi Panarin is down as he goes into the backboards hard. Play allowed to continue, and now finally, as Russia comes up with it, play is whistled down, and Artemi Panarin in some pain.
Well, not a good sign for Russia. He went hard into the boards. Francois Slobodasev kind of trips up Panarin as he's trying to get that feed driving the net. The pass from Sabachov. And Panarin gets tripped up with the goaltender. Lishnik goes hard into the boards. Catches that left shoulder. Does not look good. He does eventually get up. Well, the Russian fans and coaches not happy to see that. Chicago Blackhawks fans won't like that one either.
Alexei Yemelin knocks his man down. That was Panshin. Plotnikov for Voyanov. Voyanov to the Kazakhstan line. Dishes off. Shirokov, rink wide. Burmistrov takes it off the skates. Burmistrov with Panshin in pursuit. Spins it back. Plotnikov. Blocked by Lapine. Back for Shirokov. Trying to get it back to Burmistrov. And Russia looks like here in the second period, Shane, they're trying to play with the puck a little bit more in the Kazakhstan zone, maybe get that cycle going a little bit.
Well, puck possession, they want to hang on to it, they want to make plays. And for the most part, they need to be better defensively, and one of the ways is if you have that puck on your stick, then Kazakhstan doesn't.
Marchenko gains control for Russia. Mozyakin waits for it at the Kazakhstan line. The long wrister by Mozyakin, grabbed by Kalishnik.
Mozyakin, another solid year for him in the KHL. But the league in points for Maple Source, 32 goals, 67 points. Really a Columbus draft pick back in 2002, but 35-year-old, a lot of success in the KHL.
Puck not dropped fairly, they'll do it all over again.
Well, just looking across at the Russian bench, Artemi Panarin is still there, which is a good sign as he's trying to shake off that tumble he took into the boards.
Kuczynski and Kalinin. Kalinin pulls it back. Kalegan plays it to the right point. Shot never got through. Save made as Kalishnik got that right pad down. Kalegan looking back to the point for Zaitsev. Zaitsev does get it from Kalinin. Lyubimov trying to work it to the front of the net. Leans for Kalinin. Russia starting a line change. Voyanov's blast is blocked. Yemelin throws it cross ice. Mozyakin back to the line for Voyanov. It comes. Voyanov doesn't shoot it. In for Mozyakin. Alone in front. And he shot it wide.
Great chance for Mozyakin. Not only that, Dadonov off the rebound as the wide shot came back out front. Sergei Mozyakin already a goal, looking for top corner. Man just caught the outside of that post. But a great heads-up play by Voynov when the point recognizes Mozyakin gets left all alone. And that caught just the edge of the post and wide. Russia trying to regain that lead.
Mark Stone has Canada up 3-1 on Hungary. Trudinov gets back to the line. Slap shot by Mozyakin. Misses the target. Dodonov. This is going to get called back. We're going to say he was knocked down with a high stick.
Well, Dodonov may have a fair argument. I don't think his stick was much above his waist as he knocked it down, but regardless, the face-off will come outside. It's just a simple play. very close. He's kind of leaning. Ref has a better view than me.
Closer to the action. Brad Marchand has scored for Canada, 4-1. So it's an offensive morning, or afternoon, early afternoon here in Russia. 5 in that one, 6 in this one.
Well, you expect Russia to be favored a little bit in this, and definitely Canada over Hungary. Very low travel lead, but here we've had 6 goals, but there's been 3 apiece, even though Russia has favor in the shot category.
A 6-game day on TSN. Over in St. Petersburg, Finland and Germany in game 2. France and Slovakia will wrap the day up. Next up here, Norway and Switzerland. And then tonight, Sweden and Denmark. All the games, all of them, 64 from this championship on TSN. Off a skate to the side of the net. Chance in front for Shirokov. And Kalishnik got the left pad down.
Shirokov, a great chance in front. The call now as Kazakhstan is going to take a penalty. Starchenko going to head to the box. Shirokov with a great chance in front. And it's actually blocked. Blocked by Kazakhstan. Yakov with the block, and Starchenko, Roman Starchenko to the penalty box for delay in the game. That puck slipped out of play.
There has not been a lot of action in the Russian end of the ice in the first part of the second period. Mozyakin back for Belov. Belov trying to find a shooting lane. Can't. Solerov got in front of that. Sunov after it, gets beaten to the puck though by Lyubimov for Pavel Datsyuk. Datsyuk sends it back for Anton Belov. Back for Pavel Datsyuk, power play for Russia. 3-3 tie with Kazakhstan. In front of the net to the backside, Lyubimov tried to get that for Mozyakin. And this gets cleared down the ice. Mozyakin sends it rink wide. Antipin carries it deep. No Panarin so far on this power play. He was shaken up a few moments ago. In front of the net, Kalishnik makes a real good save on a quick release there from Antipin.
Well, real good puck movement by Russia, and they finally get into where you want it, right in that slot area, and Antipin just can't beat Kalishnik, who makes a great right pad save.
And now Panarin on the ice and has the puck for Dadonov. Dadonov protects the puck, dishes it off. Sapacha back for Dadonov. Slap shot from Chudinov doesn't get through. Panarin trying to go cross ice. May have been looking for a bank off a skate. Adam Sapacha plays it back to the line. Rebound in front for Dadonov. And he took a swing at it. Missed it. Back in short-handed, slap shot. Off the stick of Alexander's shin, doesn't get through. Sapacha, Dadonov, Chudinov, and that is blocked by Semyonov.
Great pass by Chudinov. Chance in front. Great feed. Datsyuk over to Mozyakin, back to Datsyuk. Antipin, quick passing. The right pass on Kalishnik, able to come up with the save. Victor Antipin has a real good chance for Russia.
Power play is over. Savchenko out of the penalty box. Alexei Marchenko back for it. For Panarin. Panarin swings it out at center. Vermistrov couldn't get a stick on it. That was Zaitsev rather with that long pass. Vermistrov back for Zaitsev. Zaitsev goes cross ice for Marchenko and back for Zaitsev. He's being chased there by Nigel Dawes. Dawes rubs him out. Oh, big hit as Lapine stepped into Zaitsev. That may have been a bit of a high hit. Vermistrov trying to bring it up to the front of the net. Does. Vermistrov. Now a one-touch pass for Marchenko. Back for Vermistrov. Dadonov is in front. And Vermistrov's pass is deflected up and out of play. So it's been a quiet second period after 6 in the opener. Zaitsev was getting some attention at the Russian bench after that hit from Lapine.
Well, Lapine's a big guy at 6'2", 220 pounds. It may have been a high hit caught in the head of Zaitsev.
Rivera flying back, pass picked off by Dadonov for Mozyakin. Mozyakin for Datsuk. Back for Dadonov. Dadonov looking in behind the net, finds Mozyakin. He'll play it to the right point. Sent back low by Alexei Yemelin. Goal by Dadonov. And now picked off by Kazakhstan. Ivanov will send this back down the ice, and this will be an icing call against Kazakhstan.
The only way Kazakhstan's been able to get the puck down there is with an icing. It's been primarily most of the play in the Kazakhstan zone, and Oleg Marak probably happy with what he's seen. And Andrei Nazarov, the head coach of Kazakhstan, would like to see a little bit more from his club here in period number 2.
Canada has poured it on. They have taken a 6-1 lead. 4 goals in 5.5 minutes for Canada.
Maybe not happy with just the 2-1 lead they had after 20 over Hungary.
No. They got a little hungrier. Belov is back for Russia. Long pass by Antipin off the stick of Lyubimov. Lyubimov to the backboards with Semyonov. Battle for the loose puck. Jammed to the line. Kept in though by Marchenko for Zaitsev. And the quick shot by Nikita Zaitsev over top the net. So good news for the Russian squad that he's back on the ice.
Well, see both Zaitsev and Panarin kind of go slowly to the bench and both remain in the game.
Polinin with Telegin heading to the front of the net. Polinin, Savchenko took him down in the corner. And Savchenko is up with it for Kazakhstan. The long lead pass misses everyone. And this will be another icing call against Kazakhstan.
It really has been that type of period for Kazakhstan. It's Russia. We talked about it earlier, Dennis. Just good puck possession and a big reason. One of the guys they want to have that puck on his stick is Artemi Panarin, who went awkwardly into the boards earlier, kind of hard, left shoulder, but went to the bench, was able to get some attention, and is good to go.
You'd think that Russia would be okay to play the track meet game with Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan would be the team that wouldn't want to play that. But here in the second, you mentioned earlier, Russia has gone to a more puck possession game.
Well, it's two different mindsets right now. Russia not happy with the 3-3 score. Kazakhstan very happy with the 3-3 score. Love to keep it that way, and no problem just icing the puck and playing D here.
Well put, that's a good analogy. Some room on the left side for Dadonov. Dadonov to the front of the net, and he got spilled by Savchenko. Antipin hustles back. Off the change, here comes Burmistrov. And Burmistrov stripped to the puck by Brandon Bochenski. Deflected out by Boyd.
Puck possession, you got to make quick plays. Burmistrov, it's a 3-on-1. That has to be either a pass or a shot.
Flip cross ice. Backboard Plotnikov. Plays it to the line. It skips away from Anton Belov. And Bobrovsky of the Columbus Blue Jackets leaves it for Boyanov. The long stretch pass for Mozyakin. Mozyakin on the near side. Polishnik to save. Pokes it away from Plotnikov. Plotnikov jams it out front looking for Datsuk. To center and no further as Belov puts it back in for Mozyakin. Mozyakin stripped to the puck by Solerov. And it's around the boards. Datsuk tries to work it free. Does. Shot from the line. The blast coming from Marchenko. Kept in by Zaitsev. Dodonov. Mozyakin in front. Creeping in from the near side is Marchenko. No passing lane. And now Dodonov has tried to jam it out front. Marchenko heads to the front of the net. Dodonov throws it cross ice. Datsuk puts it there. And grabbed and held by Polishnik.
Some more good puck movement in front of the net. There's Panera. And this is earlier in the game when he went hard into the boards. He caught the pad of Polishnik, the goaltender. Back on the ice, Simpson seems to be fine. His team right now. Great job. Time out here for Andrei Nazarov. Not happy with this team. They have one shot, and I'm hard-pressed to remember when that happened.
Well, you mentioned how animated he gets in behind the bench. We're getting a look at it now.
Trying to get his team motivated. Say, to the other end.
Except he's pointing back to the right direction, yes.
Pointing to the Russian end of the ice. He said, why don't we try flying down there for a little while? And Panarin's still getting attention, so I'm not sure if this is good. Still with some discomfort. We're not back to 100% yet.
1957 was the first time that the Soviet Union hosted the World Championship. Games were played outdoors. Opening ceremonies were at the Luzhniki Ice Palace, which of course became famous for the 72 series. Here's a chance. Starchenko now in. Bobrovsky makes the save, so Nazarov got the message across.
Well, timeout must have worked. Simple play, a big block, and then quick transition. And Starchenko, the captain, comes down. Little stutter step as he cuts back and gets the shot in on Bobrovsky, who comes up with a save. His second shot, he's senior. Almost 12 minutes of play in the second period.
Sweden, by the way, won that World Championship in 1957. A tie against Russia was all Sweden needed. And Russia had a 4-2 lead going into the third period. And Sweden came back for the tie. Maybe the sidebar story of that championship was they were playing outdoors, and the host committee, people on the host committee thought that they would put cognac and vodka in the dressing rooms so the players could warm up between periods. It got changed to coffee and tea quickly. Boyd, after the puck, and Boyd gets rattled into the backboards hard. Good solid jolt there by Chudinov. Game gets a little physical. Belov got bumped there by Nigel Dawes. And then another hit on the far side as Lazika got taken into the side wall. Chudinov being chased there by Krasnos Slobodsev. In on the forecheck now, Kudyakov, but Russia controls, and the long pass by Chudinov. Savchenko is after it. Dodonov is after him. Savchenko plays it around the boards. Krasnos Slobodsev will redirect that out at center. And Antipin will jump on the loose puck for Russia. in for Shirokov. Tries to find the point, does with Alexei Yemelin. Yemelin leaves and Boyanov plays it down low as Russia completes the defensive change. Plotnikov drops it off for Shirokov. Shirokov takes it around the net, finds Alexei Yemelin, lemming it to the front of the net. And that got blocked. Not sure if that got the ballistic or not.
He got through. He's a left pad seat. It looked like by Kalashnikov.
Shot from Alexei Yemelin of the Montreal Canadiens. Starchenko of the Detroit Red Wings plays this deep into the Kazakhstan zone. Semyonov. Sunov gets to center and sends it in. Well, we were going to say he didn't get to center. And an icing call here against Kazakhstan. They're trying to squeeze a line change in. That won't be allowed.
A couple physical plays. Shapakov with a good hit on the far side. Visa. It seems to be all right. That's just Panarin. He hasn't seen the ice, so very slow. And Russia's already 2 skaters short. They are leaving room to see what's going to happen. Probably most likely that Pittsburgh-Washington series and what options they'll have. They're looking for more, and Panarin is injured.
The person responsible for putting the names on the jerseys may have an Ovechkin or a Malkin.
There's a few
all ready to go, but
sure there's some, it's hard to cheer either is good, but more options probably than cheering for Pittsburgh because Burakovsky, Kuznetsov, Ovechkin all with Washington, Orlov, and a few guys that they could choose from.
They've got room for 2 skaters and 1 goaltender. Pavel Datsyuk wins the faceoff, Antipin. For Mozyakin, back for Antipin. Datsyuk to the front of the net. Antipin throws his cross ice, and it never did get to the far side. Dadonov was waiting for it there. Now Dadonov to the bench to complete the line change for Russia. Mozyakin for Pavel Datsyuk. Lyubimov to the front of the net. Datsyuk trying to find a little bit of room in that Kazakhstan zone. Puck is turned over, but kept in at the blue line, and the long shot grabbed and held by Kalashnikov as Belov got it on net. Lyubimov had it in front of the net.
All the fans still going. It was a frantic first period of play where we saw 6 goals, and 15 minutes into this one, yet to see any offense, although the majority of the play Russia has taken to Kazakhstan, but they have not been able to find the back of the net. Vitaly Kalashnikov, very busy, saw 51 shots in his first game, came up with 49 saves as Kazakhstan beat Switzerland, and he's been very busy again against Russia.
Plays for Yaroslavl in the KHL. So the shooters know him and he knows the shooters. Chudinov. That's stopped at center. Nigel Dawes throws it back in. Dawes breaks this up and puts it back. And they wave off the icing as Bobrovsky comes out to play it. Chudinov, the long lead pass to Ligon. Has it get away from him. Starchenko first on the loose puck. And he tries to drive that up through looking for Rymyrev. Back in for Ivan Telegan. Trying to throw it to the front of the net. Savchenko ties him up. Lyubimov is there. Любimov pulls it out of the pile. Puts it to the front of the net. And Taligin was all tied up. And it's cleared by Kazakhstan. Kalinin back into his own zone for Marchenko. Alexei Marchenko stripped to the puck. Starchenko gets spun around and knocked down. Ivanov is after it. And flipped back into the Kazakhstan zone. Pryasunov spins away from a check. Feeds it ahead. And no Slobodsev trying to pull it out of the corner. Also in the battle is Pushkarov. It comes up the boards and grabbed off by Dodonov. Dodonov back in for Russia. Sipachev is shot and that one off the skate and wide. Voyanov all the way down in behind the Kazakhstan net trying to play it back. Zaitsev holds it in at the line. Zaitsev for Voyanov. Voyanov for Dodonov. Back for Zaitsev. Back for Voyanov. Mozyakin. He'll dish it off for Dodonov. Dodonov trying to lose Ivanov. And a penalty now coming to Kazakhstan. Bobrovsky to the bench. Trudinov. No shooting lane for him. Panarin. Back for Mozyakin. Mozyakin. Trying to get it to the front of the net. Goes cross ice. And just as Zaitsev was getting ready to drill it, lay his whistle down as it got tipped by Kazakhstan. Ivanov will head to the bin.
Well, Dodonov with a real good shift. Couple nice plays. Shifty with the puck, and Ivanov just gets that free hand out. A little bit of a hold up on Dodonov. After a couple of good chances, Trepachov had a great opportunity in the slot off a feed from Dodonov, and there's Ivanov to get the penalty, and Nazarov still shouting instructions to his team as they go shorthanded here. Late in period number 2.
Fourth power play of the game for Russia. They do have a power play goal that came on a 5-on-3. Belov will dish this off. Belov gets it back from Dodonov, and Belov's shot finds its way through.
Look at Антон Белов. Russia, the big defenseman, just simple wrist shot through on the net. Easy save there for Lishnov. Belov played 1 year with the Edmonton Oilers, but back in the KHL now. Didn't work out as planned. 7 games with the Edmonton Oilers.
Datsuk pulls that back. Belov will chase this back into his own zone. Alexander Shin in on the forecheck for Kazakhstan. Chases Belov all the way back. Antipin now will try his luck. He'll dish it back for Belov. For Pavel Datsuk. Datsuk winds his way through. Antipin takes the pass. Back for Pavel Datsuk, and now 2 minutes left in the period. Shot score! Anton Belov drills it from the blue line. Looks like it went off somebody in front. And a power play goal has Russia back in front.
It's a big goal for Russia here late in the second period, and Anton Belov has that big shot from the point. Oh, a goal and an assist for him, and this is a big goal. It comes back to the point. I don't think that hit anything, but the player that slides in front, Salab, he goes down to block the shot. Belov does a good job getting it up high, and he finds in the top corner as fans react. Their team grabs the 4-3 lead.
A little noisy on the tender ears. As this building does get rocking. Here's a chance for Shirokov and Kalishnik. Shuts it down on the short side.
Shirokov has had some real good chances in this period. Another one for him, just a little D-to-D, quick pass up. And lost coverage as Shirokov able to come in all alone, an odd man rush. Looking for some room to the 5-hole, but Kalishnik comes up with the save.
Ivanov and Burmistrov will do the face-off honors. Russia with a power play marker to take a 4-3 lead here late in the second period. Plotnikov tied up. Ivanov down low trying to help out Savchenko. Shirokov. Zaitsev throws that to the runner. Boyanov throwing that to the front of the net. After it, Plotnikov back in front of the net for Burmistrov. And it rolled off the end of his stick. Plotnikov, good job to hold it in though. Now for Burmistrov. For Shirokov. Shirokov throws it for Антон Белов. Here comes the blast again. Saved by Kalishnik. Shirokov for Plotnikov. Burmistrov looking for Plotnikov, and that gets intercepted by Savchenko. And he'll just lift this out of harm's way.
That's pretty much the only breakout play that Kazakhstan has had is either an icing or flip it out of their zone.
They've had the one chance by Starchenko. Here's another chance, and Bobrovsky makes a big save off of Dastin Бойд.
It has been that type of game. It's great play for Boyd.
Shudinov drops it back, slap shot Mozyakin wide. And Nigel Dawes, he'll drop it off for Brandon Bochenski. The wrist shot wide, penalty coming to Russia.
This has been the game. It's been all Russia, yet Kazakhstan, a couple of great opportunities late, and it's been this line, Bochenski, Boyd, and Dawes, and now Shapachov will head to the penalty box as Bochenski cutting across the middle takes a slash from Shapachov, and the power play has been key for Kazakhstan. It started with a Dastin Бойд power play goal, and then they added to that one. This was a great play from behind the net as Rymarov was able to tie it at 3.
So 2 for 2 is the Kazakhstan power play. Trying to make it 3 for 3. Dastin Бойд with a redirect in front as Bochenski throws it to the front of the net.
Almost a little more late magic here. The late power play goal in period number 1 that tied it at 3. And Boyd, Dastin Boyd's had 2 really good chances late in this second period.
Boyd and Nigel Dawes, both born in Winnipeg, have their Kazakhstan citizenship. They play in Astana. The second period is going to come to an end. So after 6 goals in the first, 1 in the second. Well,
Третий период матча между сборными командами Казахстана и сборной командой России.
a look at Sergei Bobrovsky, the Russian netminder, was not very busy in the second period, yet had to make a couple of very good saves.
Well, he came up with a big one off Dastin Бойд late in that period. Only saw 4 shots as Russia out shooting Kazakhstan 31-13 in this hockey game. Right now, though, Kazakhstan just 1 goal down, and their power play 2 for 2 in this game. And they start with a minute 46 with the man advantage.
Vitaly Kalishnik, in 105 minutes of hockey in this tournament, has faced 82 shots.
Been very, very busy. The 51 in the first game, and yeah, the 31 through 2 periods. But his team won 1 game, and they have a chance in this one.
Touched on that earlier, stopped 49 of 51 in the first game and wasn't chosen the star of the game for Kazakhstan. Bobrovsky stops this in behind his own net. Up the boards it goes. Brandon Bochenski's there to dock it down. And down the ice, Kazakhstan will have to go back and regroup with a $1:20 left in the power play. Semyonov plays 5-on-5 and plays both the PK and the PP for Kazakhstan. Nigel Dawes plays it around to the right point. Tryasunov sends it down low to Dastин Бойд, back for Tryasunov and back for Dastин Бойd. He'll leave for Nigel Dawes. Brandon Bochenski's in front of the net in a battle there with Boyanov. Tryasunov back for Nigel Dawes. Down low, cross, ice score! Semyonov has tied the game. The third power play goal of the contest for Kazakhstan.
It really has been remarkable how Kazakhstan has been able to hang around and be advantageous. Their power play, 3 goals now as Semyonov comes down that backside, and it is a great feat. Good patience by Dastin Бойд. Takes it off the skate, the stick, and Semyonov beats Bobrovsky. And it is 4-4 early in this third period.
Almost looked like Bobrovsky misfired on his initial push to come across, and then by the time he did come across, Maxim Semyonov had this game tied up. Savchenko back for Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan's had their key players come up as Semyonov now, the defenseman that logs the most ice, gets on the scoreboard.
This has been an interesting game. Russia has found its offense after getting shut out in the opener, but they haven't done a great job keeping it out of their net. There's a blast at Lapine. Went down to block that for Kazakhstan. Krasnos Slobodsev winds his way through center, finds a little bit of room, and the big winger for Kazakhstan lets the shot go, and that sails high and wide. Krasnos Slobodsev works it free, trying to lose Chudinov. Gorobienkov plays this back in behind the Russian net. And finally grabbed off, and Chudinov will send it ahead. Sapetchov, who was in the penalty box for that last power play goal by Kazakhstan, plays it back and heads to the bench on the change. Zaitsev finds some room and winds his way in. Short side shot, Polishchuk to save. And Nigel Dawes will take it for Kazakhstan. Semyonov, Tryasunov, and finally out at center for Dastin Бойд and in for Brandon Bochenski. Bochenski trying to spin off the checking of Antipin. And Shirokov unable to pick it up at center and play whistle down.
Dastin Бойd, a goal and an assist in this hockey game. Both have come on the power play early on, took the feed from Bochenski as he scored past Bobrovsky, and now the latest, a great feed as we find Semyonov coming down that backside. Sergei Bobrovsky looks behind him, but Dastin Бойd, Winnipeg kid, plays over in Astana in the KHL. NHL experience, a Calgary draft pick, 220 games with Calgary, Nashville, Montreal.
Cleared into the Kazakhstan zone. Kalinin. Getting crushed there on the far side was Telegin. And the puck back into the Russian zone, and this will bring about another stoppage in play and another icing call.
Well, for Sergei Bobrovsky, it hasn't gone as well as planned. Our office got his team to come out and perform. Whoever's running that power play has to be happy with the success they have had, really taking advantage of the special teams.
4 for 5 in the tournament. 3 for 3 today. They were 1 for 2 on the power play against Switzerland. Starchenko flips this to the Russian line. Alexei Marchenko comes near side for Zaitsev. And Zaitsev will send it into the Kazakhstan zone. Zaitsev trying to hold the line, can't. Starchenko for Ivanov. Shot blocked by Bobrovsky and Dadonov with the one-touch pass for Sapetchov. Sapetchov back for Dadonov. Dadonov trying to fight his way through against The checking of Hudyakov. Comes back to the blue line. Belov throws it cross ice. Mozyakin, the shot through some traffic. It never got through. Dadonov knocked his man down. Gets it for Mozyakin. Back at the line. Chudinov for Belov. Scores! May have gone off Sapachov in front. But the bomb from Belov from the blue line.
Minus may have went off Francois Slobodovic. Stick as he came out to block the shot, but the blast by Belov, who has a goal in this game, now has two. As he just unleashes this, the big shot from the point. And a good screen in front by Sapachov, but it's Francois Slobodovic, that it goes off his stick as he comes out to the point, and that changes direction as it goes up and over the left shoulder of the netminder. For Kalishnik, no chance on that goal.
So, Russia back in front. We had 6 goals in the first, 1 in the second, and a couple already here in the third. And we've just played over 4 minutes. Shirokov winds his way in. Shot to the front of the net. Plotnikov is there. Play whistle down. No Artemi Panarin, by the way, on the Russian bench.
Well, he got hurt, went hard into the boards in period number 2, and tried to come back. He played, but looked at discomfort as we look at the goal by Belov that has Russia back out in the lead. 5-4 now, so after an early power play goal by Kazakhstan, Russia able to respond. Belov, a big goal here, and now the crowd back behind their team.
Belov slips it through. Ivan Telegin trying to get it to the front of the net for Lubomov. Lubomov gets roughed up by Ivanov and knocked down. Lapine plays it around the boards. Rymyarev is there, but in from the line was Antipin. Antipin will play this down for Lubomov. Lubomov in a battle with Savchenko. Savchenko knocks big Lubomov down. Gets up and still has it. And now finally controlled by Kazakhstan. Starchenko waits for it as he comes around the boards. But Dmitry Polinin will get the loose puck and play it back for Antipin. Russia in the middle of a line change. Antipin chips it for Belov. Belov gets pressured there by Krasnoslobodsev. And this ricochets up and out of play.
Oh, Belov just letting go to hit the glass first. Those two came together before, and Krasnoslobodsev was the one that came out to block the shot, went off his stick and into his own net, but this blast by Belov from the point.
Very good crowd here for the early game.
Both sides usually represented well. Obviously, though, when it's Russia in the contest, they're a little more heavily favored.
Holiday weekend, Victory Day tomorrow, which is a huge day here. Shirokov plays this back to the line. Shot by Pavel Datsuk, didn't miss by much. Alexei Marchenko for Shirokov, and Shirokov's getting hounded there by Brandon Bochenski. Plotnikov looks for the loose puck. Plotnikov trying to work it out of the corner. Back for Shirokov. Plotnikov makes his way to the front of the net. Semyonov is all over Plotnikov. They have their own little game going. Shirokov in behind the net, and the crowd liking what they're seeing from Shirokov. Zaitsev from the line lets the shot go, and that goes wide. Plotnikov back for Zaitsev. Russia starting a change now. Mozyakin for Marchenko. Marchenko's pass was in behind Dadonov. And now the pass back to the line. Comes outside the line, and Zaitsev quickly back in for Marchenko, but Kazakhstan managing to get the majority of the line change in.
Well, that's what they needed. Caught out on the ice. It was the Boyd, Dawes, and Bochenski line, and happy to get some fresh legs out on the ice.
Icing will be the call here against Russia.
Going off, big part of the Russian defense. Former Los Angeles King, where he won a couple of Stanley Cups. Not only are they here, they usually are decked out in the apparel of their country.
Back to Boyd off the off-ice issues in Los Angeles, well documented, and made the decision to come back to play in the KHL.
Well, you look at the Kings, unable to have success this year. That's what they're missing, is another piece on the blue line.
Starchenko will go to the penalty box, and Russia will go to the power play.
Russia's going to get a chance on the power play now and try to extend to their lead as the captain for Kazakhstan will head to the penalty box. It's Roman Starchenko. Russia does have a power play goal in this game. Mozyakin on a 5-on-3 was able to beat Kalishnik, the goaltender of Kazakhstan. We look at Starchenko, who will sit for 2 minutes. Trips up Matcha on the breakout play.
Power play goals for Mozyakin and Belov for Russia. They get another opportunity with the man advantage. Boydov slides this down low, 5th power play of the game for Russia. Boydov, cross ice, slap shot, Chudinov, and a glove save, Kalishnik.
Shot by Chudinov, he gets all of that one-timer. And Kalishnik does a good job just tracking that puck, able to see it through a little bit of traffic. Come up with the glove save.
Part of the national program for Russia for a long time. Played U17, U18. Was a Boston draft pick at one time. He can blast it. Has it again off face-off. Boyanov and Chudinov play give and go. Sapachov, Boyanov. Boyanov gets it to the front of the net. Dadonov was there, but it was kicked away by Kalishnik. Chudinov unloads. Kalishnik makes the save. Dadonov got knocked down in front by Starchenko. Sapachov, Boyanov, Chudinov, and Kalishnik another save. Scramble in front. Shirokov got a whack at it. Kept in by Dadonov. Sapachov. Boyanov and a shot blocked there by Pushkarov. And he'll clear it down the ice.
Well, big block and a big save as Kalishnik had to pick that puck up out of a bunch of bodies in front and make the save off Sapachov.
40-15 now the shots, and as Russia has hit the 40 mark. 91 shots now Kalishnik has faced in this, the second game for him in this championship. Power play continues. Belov looking for 3. Save made by Kalishnik.
He's been busy, Kalishnik in net. And Russia with a couple real good opportunities as they move the puck around, comes to the point. That big shot by Belov. And then Antipin, who's in the high slot, gets a chance with the rebound off the initial save. Vitaly Kalishnik with another big save for his hockey team.
Belov has really got those shots through today. And he can't fire it. Belov has it again. And another shot, scores! Anton Belov, now he points to the front of the net. So was this deflected? The hats are coming.
Hats are coming, but I don't know who's going to have the goalie. He's pointing to Luminoff. I think he may have got a stick on it.
So 3 power play goals for Russia. And they have a 2-goal lead.
Well, just get the shot through, and that's exactly what Belov does, and it is Lubinov in front of the net with a nice little knockdown here on the deflection as he's going to knock it down, and it goes just over the pad under the blocker of Polishnik. And the power play for Russia comes through. And there's a very happy young fan.
I'm not sure if he was just debating whether he was going to throw that hat, or he was just working his head a little bit.
He's going to hang on to it now as this team has the lead.
Well, give Anton Belov credit. He pointed immediately, trying to maybe save some people tossing their hats. So we have a 2-goal lead in this game for the first time. Dmitry Kalinin sends it in. So as big as the power play has been for Kazakhstan, 3 for 3, power play has been big for Russia as well. Zaitsev throws it back into his own zone for Marchenko. This pass gobbled up on the right side. And across for Boyd. He'll leave for Brandon Bochenski, looking for Nigel Dawes.
Been a big game for Anton Belov now with 4-point game, 2 goals, 2 assists.
Russia back to the attack, and the shot by Chudinov. Crease violation called on Vermistrov.
Take a look at Anton Belov, the big defenseman who's had a good night. Started off an assist on the Dadonov goal that started it all off for Russia. And the big blast on the power play. Second goal of the game in this last one. Just a nice little wrist shot through to the net. And a real good deflection in front. Lubinov able to get a stick on it.
4th straight worlds for Belov. And you talked about his career in the National Hockey League, a brief one with Edmonton, and as Bobrovsky hangs on to this, you kind of wonder if he maybe would like another crack at it, or is he just very comfortable here in the KHL?
I think he's very happy. I think he signed a 4-year deal with SKA St. Petersburg. Happy to be back. He just got 1 season, 13-14, now 2 years with SKA St. Petersburg. This is his 4th World Hockey Championship. After 3 goals with Edmonton, he had just 1 goal and 6 assists. 3 goals this year in the KHL. Pretty much equaled that here in 1 game.
They've got the wave going here at the Ice Palace. Polishnik leaves it. And in full flight, Ivanov sends it into the Russian zone. Krasno's Slobodsev. Back for Ivanov. Into the high slot. Quick shot. Some traffic in front. Good release there by Hudakov. But it never got through. Pushkarov for Hudakov. Back for Ivanov. Bumps there with Dodonov. Antipin goes in. Ivanov trying to get it back, and ricochets to the line. And the blast by Trayasunov just missed as Bobrovsky was screened.
Well, they haven't had a shot on goal, and that one goes just wide since they scored the power play goal early in this period to tie it up.
Belov for Antipin. Back into the Kazakhstan zone. Plotnikov tries to work it free. Plotnikov selected to the All-Star team a couple of World Championships ago. The one that was in Belarus. Under 9 now. And the fans can sense a victory. Savchenko for Brandon Bochenski. He'll play it back. And Danir Karov, who has not seen a lot of ice time in the 2 games. now out there for Kazakhstan. Lead pass for Ivanov, gets deflected in. Bobrovsky plays it around the boards. Ivanov breaks it up though. Starchenko trying to get a stick on it. It comes back to the line for Bienkov. Sends it back down low. And now Russia will control with Telegin. For Dmitry Kalinin. Kalinin goes wide. Shot to the short side. Misses the target. Zaitsev in from the line. That misses the net. Taken on the far side. Sent back in deep by Alexei Marchenko. Marchenko now in from the line. And he will stop Rymyarev. And Rymyarev will play it back in behind his own net. Karov. Leaves it for Semyonov. Semyonov will rattle it in. Belov knocks it down. Belov plays it quickly up the left side. Mozyakin slap shot. Kalishnik makes another save. He closes in on 100 shots now in this tournament. Again, no Artemy Panarin on the Russian bench, injured in the second period.
That'll be something that Russia, they want to win this game and got to look at filling that roster. If Panarin's out, that makes room for 3.
Russia back at it tomorrow against Latvia. Dodonov trying to wind his way to the front, got taken down, and then he in turn will take Rudakov down. And no call on either one. In for Mozyakin, and that shot missed the target. Zaitsev trying to hold it in, can't. Lead pass, and Bobrovsky is going to come out, and he'll get to the puck ahead of Brandon Bochenski. Savchenko rattles it around the glass, out to center. Dustin Boyd drops it for Nigel Dawes. Dawes tried to bust his way through and couldn't. Shirokov sends it ahead for Plotnikov with Shirokov, the give and go. And the give and go didn't go.
Well, too much passing for Russia.
Plotnikov, Lapine all over him. Plotnikov's pass deflected away by Boyd. In from the line, though, with the blast was Boyanov. Alexander Burmistrov for Shirokov, back for Burmistrov, bounced off his stick. And Bochenski to center and sends it in. 5.5 left in a 6-4 lead for Russia. Boyanov, the long lead pass, a one-touch redirect now. Kalinin for Telegin. And the save by Kalishnik. 46 shots for Russia. They have a 6-4 lead.
Антон Белов, who's been the leader here offensively from the back end for Russia in this game, a 4-point night or day for Antон Belov with a pair of goals and a pair of assists. It's Russia with a 2-goal lead here as they get down to just about 5 minutes left. And Kazakhstan running out of time. Russia has continued to put the pucks on Vitaly Kalishnik, who's been very busy in net for Kazakhstan through his first 2 games.
Russia really took control of this game from the second period on.
Yeah, Kazakhstan's taking advantage of their power play where they got 3 of their 4 goals.
Antipin throws it to the front of the net. Kalishnik down. Lyubimov has had a couple of goals in this game. Lumach trying to drive it to the front of the net. Marchenko for Telegin. Ivan Telegin, the shot, blocker save. 98 shots now in this championship for Kalishnik in 2 games.
Well, not even 2 games then. We'll see.
Right.
This one isn't over, but he has seen a lot of rubber.
In across the line. Shin to the short side. That got speared away by Bobrovsky. Udakov tried to come to the backside, picked off Sapecha. Dodonov takes the pass. Dodonov pulls up and still trying to get a shot through, and eventually does turn it over, and now a penalty. And Semyonov and Dodonov have a little chat off.
Well, Dodonov's going to go to the penalty box, so talk about their shots on goal and the shot count in this game regardless. 6-4, and Kazakhstan, a real good opportunity. This power play has been hot for them. As Dodonov, a little too much with the puck. He couldn't get a handle on it. And Semyonov, as he goes to clear it out of the zone, gets tripped up by Dodonov. So a Kazakhstan power play.
48-17 the shot, so Solix from the Rock looks on. Sergei Bobrovsky's save percentage isn't going to be what he would like it to be, but the Rock has his team up.
Don't see a 31 shot advantage very often.
Face-off win for Russia, cleared out for Mistrov. Will chase this back into the Kazakhstan zone. Semyonov starts the power play, leaves for Brandon Bochenski. Bochenski will send it in. Dustin Boyd now follows to the corner in on Burmistrov. Taken and cleared by Zaitsev. Kalishnik will come out and send that lead pass ahead for Dustin Boyd. Boyd to the front of the net for Brandon Bochenski. And a bit of a tip there, but never got enough on it. And now cleared down the ice. 4th power play of the game for Kazakhstan, and as Shane mentioned, they are 3 for 3 with the man advantage, and with 3.5 left to go here in regulation, would like to pull this game back to within 1. Rymyrev has a power play goal in this game. He goes after it. Collision there as a couple of Kazakhstan players go down. Rymyrev and Starchenko.
Voinov took a hit from Starchenko there when the puck was kind of caught up in his equipment, but a little tap from Starchenko afterwards.
In around the board, Korbienkov for Kazakhstan, but that is cleared down the ice. And Kalishnik makes the save, and if they call that an official shot on goal, that will be the 100 mark for him. Savchenko through for Nigel Dawes, for Dustin Boyd, for Semyonov. Semyonov will play it around for Boyd. He's tied up there with Marchenko. Nigel Dawes trying to get it back for Dustin Boyd. Sent around to Semyonov, in for Brandon Bochenski. Bochenski to the short side, Bobrovsky the save. Bochenski to rebound, and Russia for the first time today has killed off the penalty. And here comes Dodonov wide. Dodonov trying to drive it to the net, and Semyonov stayed with him. Sapecha for Mozyakin, and Mozyakin got knocked down on the play. And right back for Ivanov. For Rymyrev. Ivanov hits to the front of the net. Starchenko with the shot. And Belov blocked that one, and that hurt. As Anton Belov will make his way to the Russian bench slowly. Canada game is done. 7-1 the final there over Hungary. And Kalashnik started to go to the bench for the extra attacker, and then he's forced back. And Dustin Boyd will send it in, and there goes Kalashnik. For the extra man, cleared around the boards, no icing. Kryasunov will drop it in behind his own net. Final push here from Kazakhstan. Ivanov throws it to the side of the net. Bobrovsky stops it. Nigel Dawes was in it, was cleared past him. It gets rolling. They wave off icing and Savchenko back for it. Savchenko tried to dump it in, and that got blocked by Pavel Datsyuk.
Datsyuk done a much better job, although they've allowed 4 goals. Better job defensively in this game.
Dawes sends it in. Datsyuk sends it around the glass. Ivan Telegan ahead for Shirokov. He couldn't catch up to it. Brandon Buczynski has to wait for Ivanov to get onside, and he will send it in. And as the song they play before the game, Russia rides again, and rides this game to victory 6-4 over Kazakhstan. Russia picks up its first points of this championship.
Well, they wanted to find their offense. They certainly did, putting up 6 in this hockey game. Credit to Kazakhstan, although they didn't have many chances, they made the most of it. They tied it up early in the third, but Russia was just too much as they continue to throw pucks at Kazakhstan's net, and it pays off as they win.
Well, and just past 2:30 here in Moscow, so lots of the day left for the Russian fans to celebrate. 6-4 final.
Дамы и господа, официальный спонсор чемпионата мира по хоккею 2016 года, компания Raiffeisen Bank International учредила специальные призы лучшим игрокам в обоих командах. Ladies and gentlemen, the official sponsor of the 2016 IHF Ice Hockey World Championship, Raiffeisen Bank International, set the special prizes for the most valuable players of each team. Призы вручает член Совета Международной Федерации Хоккея Александр Стеблин. The prizes are presented by the Life Council member of the International Ice Hockey Federation, Mr. Александр Стеблин. Итак, лучшими игроками признаны в команде Казахстан. Вратарь команды номер 20 Виталий Колесник. The most valuable player for the Kazakhstan tonight, number 20 goaltender Виталий Колесник. И лучшим игроком в составе сборной команды России признан Антон Белов. And the most valuable player tonight for the Russia, number 77, Антон Белов. Дамы и господа, в честь команды победительницы звучит государственный гимн Российской Федерации. Ladies and gentlemen, in honor to the team winner, please rise up for the national anthem of Russian Federation.